looking through many who are commenting, some Bimbo thinks until our lawmaking and lawmakers are vigorously revived, our anti-corruption struggle will continue to be stunted. Another person thinks, look, in China, it's death penalty for this kind of case. And leads us to ask, look, are we approaching these things the right way?
At the risk of repeating myself, I have said severally on different fora, it is a fundamental responsibility to ensure that corruption, if not exterminated, is grossly attenuated. But first you have to define what is corruption. Stealing is not just an aspect of corruption. Okay? Stealing. And a thief is the one that has been caught. You know, like somebody would, that's the pedestrian way of defining it. As a lawyer, I know the definition.
But do you know we're all on the same page?
That is the issue. That we are not. We are not. Nepotism, I have always insisted, is corruption. When you get the national patrimony and corner it for the interest of a few people, perhaps they're from your ethnic group, your religious group, or your social group, or certain small club, to the discomfiture of those who are equally entitled or even better entitled, it is corruption. You understand? So, and that one will feed into stealing, ultimately, if somebody has the opportunity to have his hand on the national till or state till or whatever level of government. So the point I am making now is that we should approach it from a systemic perspective to build institutions. You understand? While you are creaming out those who are already caught in the web by using some admixture of fear and control, which is perhaps the issue of going to court, disgracing those who have been found guilty, jailing them and so on. You are going to get a minuscule group of people at that level. But there are people who are surging up that need to be captured before they get into the web. What is the social program? Let us take the typical case of judges now. Everybody is saying judges are corrupt, judges. We know, as a practitioner, I know there's an avalanche of judges that are not only diligent and knowledgeable, but are incorruptible. Not because they are living very comfortably, but because the ethos, the ethics of the profession, and the oath of their office, and their belief generally will not conduce to that kind of conduct. Who is celebrating them?
And these are known judges.
They are known. Who is celebrating them? So while we are carrying the stick to infuse fear, there should also be carrot to encourage those who are want to do the right thing.
Let's go to Abuja to get Markwe's question. And Markwe?
You know, it's very difficult to intervene in this particular matter because Mr. Nnaji has made his point very clear in terms of, you know, where he believes that this should start. I mean, he's talked about systemic, addressing it systemically. But then, you know, some people will say, are we saying then that we should leave out those who, are we saying we should erase the slate and say, oh, we're addressing systems now, if you've done this in the past, you know, you're forgiven, as it were, and then we just move forward. We move forward into the future. Do you subscribe to that school of thought? Those who say, you know, that we should just forget about the past and look at how we can actually address systems. Is that what you will also be suggesting?
Certainly not. First, I said that fear is one of the social instruments of, instruments of social control. But fear can only be used to address those who have been caught. Like if somebody is a thief only because he has been caught. If you don't catch somebody stealing, or you have no evidence to say that he stole, you can't do anything about it. And so you cannot arrest him, you cannot convict him naturally. So what we are saying is that while the government can use that fear, the element of fear, deploying the judicial process that would ultimately disgrace and punish those who have been caught in the process of stealing, which is what is happening now, there are more than 98%, because you cannot deal with more than 10% of those who have the opportunity of being corrupted by stealing or whatever, of taking bribe, there are few. Compared to those, as we speak now, if you go to some of the ministries, there are things they negotiate with you. And we are fighting corruption. And they never will be seen. Because you need those things, you part with money. Under your nose, it is happening. You understand?
Currently.
So, currently, and will continue to happen. What I'm saying, let us find a system, a program. It is doable. It has been done before. Whereby, like I use myself as an example, nobody under the sun can bribe me and succeed. You can make an attempt. Because there is nothing I need again. I'm not materialistic. I'm not greedy. You understand? So if you have developed your self-concept that, like in those days they say, remember the son of whom you are. The idea is that you should not disgrace the family. So if you carry that kind of virtuous thinking, forget about whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or an animist and all that. There is a family value. You don't want to disgrace your family. Once you do that, nothing can happen to make you derail. The point, therefore, Mokwe, is that there must be a multidisciplinary approach. And like a doctor, there must be different drugs. But those drugs must work harmoniously, not at crossroads to kill the patient. The point we are making here is that while those people who are already caught can be addressed using the instrument of social control that is embedded in fear, those ones who have been doing well need to be encouraged to continue on that route through a carrot system. Then the younger ones, or younger here not necessarily by age, but those who have not been able to have the opportunity, because there are so many young ones who want to go and steal money, but they don't have the opportunity yet. So either they do kidnapping, 419 and all that, to show you there's a symptom that is leading to that element. So we need different layers to be addressed by different, solutions. So that is the point. I'm not saying that the past will be forgiven, no. But there are intelligent ways of it, because if you say people who have stolen money to come out under a fear, an environment that is suffused with fear, they won't come out. They will dare you to catch them first.
Let me ask you this as we begin to wind down. From what you've seen, because I did ask you if you think we are all on the same page about this, but let's talk about the political party, the APC. They came into power, and the president particularly did, one of his tripod of his campaign was fighting corruption. From what you've seen though, do you think that not just the president but the party is on the same page with him about fighting corruption?
The corruption crusade is a brand initiated, purveyed, driven and sustained by the president.
Alone?
Bam. Many people keying in are doing so because they are so close to him to be observed. So they are only managing to trudge on. Are you reading me? So if you were to, in fact, some of them are very ceremonious. Because it's about our own time now. They say they are fighting. You understand? So it's a question of if the president wants his legacy of corruption crusade, anti-corruption crusade, to outlive him, because he's only a human being, limited by time and space, and another space created by the Constitution. He cannot go beyond certain terms, tenure. You understand what I mean? He will not want to live in his own lifetime and see the house he was trying to build crumbled like it happened in the past. We saw it. You understand? So he needs to have the advantage of hindsight to see who are those who are on the same page, that are knowledgeable, to let him understand how to sustain this crusade beyond the shenanigans of media war.
But we are not an incorrigible people.
This country is peopled by very good people, human beings created by God, beautiful people. We are good followers. If you say it is disco, they will dance disco and wait for you for reggae. That shows you they are not tired. But if you say it is for crusade with a Bible or Quran, they will hold it on two hands to show you that with you. This is the kind of people, and we are not asking for too much. When people see helicopter pass, they don't know that somebody owns it. They mind their business and looking for Okada, or looking for how to walk across before the next Okada pushes them down. That is how we are. We are very good people with pristine virtues. That is why when people do good things, you still find that people say, ah, very good. But our situation have made so many people to fall by the wayside. It doesn't mean that inside them, they do not know and believe that what they are doing is wrong and they don't like it. But rather than die in their bedroom, they want to die in somebody's hand.
On that good note, we would like to anchor Mr. Chima Nnaji, good governance advocate. Always a pleasure to have you on. And thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.